And we're back for live softball action. It is week 5 of the Premier League season tonight. A massive clash between second and third on the table, both with 3 wins and 2 losses. Hills Heat versus Sturt Falcons. James Harris here, and alongside me is Mark Cramp and Lee Hull. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, James, and nice to see you, Mark.
Well, on screen, we're just about ready to go, so we'll get to the action. That lady there, game number 500 for the Sturt Falcons club, Sarah Tonkin, fittingly will lead things off tonight.
And so she should. What a terrific effort. And she's going as strong now as when she started.
I reckon we broadcast her 400th, Lee, and she hit a home run that night.
Yeah, well, she'll be looking for the same here, but Georgia's a pretty mean pitcher.
Aggressively gets after the first pitch. Game. And Georgia, that one came in at 105, like first pitch of the game.
Yeah, well, I saw Millie warming up, and she was really hitting Sarah's glove really hard. So I expect her to be throwing some heat too.
Well, there is the champ of the Hills Heat. Watch for her in this game. She plays well, Heat will win. But this woman right here, Sarah Tonkin, happy 500th. Here's a single to start things off.
And that's Sarah, isn't it? She hits the ball flat and hard, often.
Lee, she's sitting in the top dozen players in the competition at the moment, 417 batting average. That'll go up again tonight. We are early days in the season and aggressively.
Look like a hit and run play.
Sturt have swung at every pitch so far tonight.
It's probably their method. They want to get on top of Georgia as quickly as they can.
Just back on Sarah Tonkin, she leads the team in batting averages, hitting 417, tied with Maddie Cameron as Neve Adams. Another swing for the Falcons, and she's quickly behind the count 0-2.
I think this girl, Neve Adams, is, even at her young age, she is a complete player already. Can run, can bat.
Second in the team in RBIs.
Yeah, huge arm too. She's a terrific player.
She reads the play really well in the field. We'll see her at third base tonight. A position that Sarah Tonkin made her own before she took on the catching duties for this team. Strikeout looking for the first out of the game. So just like that, Georgia Hood gives up a hit, fights straight back with a standing K. And the first out of the game. Belinda White, the batter in the box. That one is a called strike. It was there to be hit, but she watches that one. Lee, she hasn't been out of sorts, but I'm predicting. I'll make a prediction here, mate. Look for a big game from Belle White. She's hitting well, but she could be doing better. As she crushes this one, shortstop Perez. It comes off the end of the glove. So the ball's in play, the runner's advanced, and Belinda White gets aboard.
Well, she's been out of luck, hasn't she, really, so to speak. She's had some line drives that have gone straight. 2 of them went straight to Lana Kaisler at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
There was a few weeks back, and on the weekend, a couple of line drives to the outfielders. So
outfield, yep.
Yep, out of luck, like you said. This woman here has picked up where she left off last year. She had a 600-plus season, 417 this year. Might sound modest for a 600 hitter, but still one of the team and league leaders.
Yeah.
Leading her team with RBIs and both runners in scoring position.
They're aggressive, aren't they, Sturt? When they've got the bat in their hand, they're aggressive. When they've got the ball in their hand, likewise. Yep.
She's got 5 hits, Maddie Cameron, for the season. 3 of them extra base hits, 5 RBIs.
Big game players, aren't they, Bell and Maddie?
Ground ball, shortstop. Perez looked at the lead runner. There is 2 out now. So catch a speed up for Sarah Tonkin. Will likely be Maddie Cameron. So Cameron does advance the runners. 14. On second and third for the pitcher, Millie Fidge. That was good from Perez to make up for the one that she missed just before. Probably gettable as well. Off-White scored as an error for those scoring at home.
Yeah, I think it was hit a bit harder than what it appeared from here, James. I think that's just made the difference between Danny gloving it or not gloving it.
Well, she didn't get a bad hop, and, you know, she sort of turned her glove, didn't she, to try and take a backhand when she did the work to get her body over the ball. 1-1 count here for Fidge. There are 2 outs. Change up. Well, I got the count wrong. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Georgia Hood, denying the Falcons as they get the leadoff runner aboard. Three good outs there from the Hills Heat, Lee.
Yes, certainly. Good start for both teams then. Sarah looked her usual self in the 500th game.
Just quickly, the Hills Heat lining up here just to show a bit of a sign of respect here for the 500 gamer in Sarah Tonkin. So that's a nice touch here from the Hills Heat.
Certainly is, and that's what sport's all about, isn't it? You know, sure you go out there to win, but there are other things.
The other game tonight on Diamond 2, Lee, is also a crackerjack. Port Adelaide top of the table, 5-1 versus Walkerville, 3-2. So tied with these two teams playing tonight. Walkerville, just the runs against separating, and they had a big win against the Hills Heat on Saturday. Hills out hit them, and Walkerville still managed to get the win 5-4. The news out of that game, though, Lee, is Sophie King just continues to dominate the competition this year. She is hitting 11 from 13 for the season, hitting 846, and absolutely destroying everyone she faces so far, and that includes the likes of Grower and Georgia Hood. Yeah,
it's fantastic, and it's the real Sophie King, because I thought she was a bit scratchy with her batting last year, James, in all fairness, but not this season.
Well, there's Millie Fidge warming up to pitch for the Falcons, and isn't she doing a terrific job this year, Lee? She is amongst the league leaders in wins. She's got 3 wins on the season, 20 innings of work and 27 strikeouts. So more than a strikeout an inning and an ERA of only 1.5. And we had Steph Drzezinski on in the commentary box with us on Saturday, and she said if you can keep that ERA under 2, you're doing a good job. She's at 1.5.
The future looks very rosy, doesn't it, for Millie?
Abby Jorgensen to lead things off for the Hills Heat. She is the leading batter for the Hills Heat in averages with 500. She's got off to a cracking start, 8 from 16. And a huge thanks to Lindy Radigan and her team of statisticians that provide us with the stats each week.
Certainly, and we appreciate it. But this girl here can play, I tell you. Young player, Jorgensen, batting at the top and leading the batting in the Hills. Confident player. I see her on Sundays when the Duns team, Glenelg, play their side, which is Southern, and I saw her this Sunday. She can play baseball as well. Confident. She is a very confident player, James and Mark.
You just look down the Hills Heat lineup, you can see Georgia Hood. She's up there, of course. Only 5 hits for the year, but that's because she's been walked 6 times.
Last year she was batting leadoff, wasn't she, from memory? Was it last season or the season before?
Yeah, last year they moved her a couple of games into the season, into the leadoff spot. Georgia Ballard batting 2 tonight, and Maddie Rocha down at number 9. She's actually got the 3rd best batting average for the Hills Heat. Strikeout looking. Well, didn't even look like she was interested in that pitch, Lee, as that's the first out of the game for Millie Fidge and the Sturt Falcons. Georgia Ballard
doing a good job catching Georgia Hood, isn't she? Because they have tried Georgia King there, I think, once or twice.
She's doing a good job with the bat as well. 308 batting average, not bad for a 17-year-old.
Yes, you lose sight of the fact that she's younger than what she appears. She's been around a while, George. 3 Georges in the team. Must be a popular name for girls these days, you think. Oh, those days.
Georgia Hood up next and Georgia King on the bench, but she has played a few games so far, Georgia King, and hitting 333. So handy player to have at your disposal.
Yep.
Low for a ball. We haven't gone around the diamond yet, so we, in between batters, we might get you to go around the green grass for us.
Okay, mate. Yeah. Try and get your own jokes if you can, James. I'd appreciate that.
Low for a ball, 4, and a runner aboard for the Hills.
Right, around the diamond for the Falcons. It's Millie Fidge to Sarah Tonkin. Tash Straps is at first. Rachel Tonkin second. Neve Adams at third. Belle White at shortstop. And the outfield in the green grass that's mown. Maddie Ashby, Maddie Cameron, Indigo, Beck De Silva.
Well, Mark's ears pricked up when you said Tash Straps playing first, but yes, that's another player that's changed teams this season, Mark. Georgia Hood fouls that one off. Lee's just been distracted here. Our chief statistician may have picked something up on that last at-bat. We might not go into it, though, Lee.
No, we won't.
Can't do anything about it now. It's this one. High and popped up.
Not easy.
Adams underneath it, and it will land foul. Now, Lee, we saw the Falcons on the weekend, and they missed a couple of those. And both times they got lucky where the ball rolled out of play, as we see the leading teams replay this time. This is one that Neve Adams will want to forget. As we saw her make the top play in the top 10 plays of the 2021 season. Diving lane out on this very field.
No surprise.
Change up. Pick off attempt.
Ooh.
Well, they got Georgia Hood on a change up, striking out. I've got to check my stats for the first strikeout of the season. She had a 455 batting average coming in with a 625 on base. First strikeout of the year. Well, that's a feather in the cap of Fidge, Lee.
Yep. I think it's already started looking like a pitcher's game, but early days yet.
Catch a speed up as the runner takes off, doesn't even slide.
That was Abby Jorgensen, I think, wasn't it? Yes.
Sarah Tonkin would just take that every day. If you're not going to even slide on the steal attempt, it's maybe a little bit of inexperience. Maybe there was no call from either of the coaches. I can't tell from this angle, but, well, 3 up and 3 down effectively as Georgia Ballard replaced with the courtesy runner. Catch a speed up rule. Jorgensen came in and she was out twice in the 1 inning, Lee.
Yeah, and what's the name? Sarah was up early, and I think Abby was only 2/3 of the way there. Sarah's not going to miss that out.
Well, isn't the 500 gamer having a night already?
Yes.
She's got the only hit of the game, and she's managed a couple of putouts as well. Well, yeah, 2 putouts and an assist as well for the gun catcher for the Falcons.
And Georgia Ballard on a 3.
Yeah, we will touch on it, Lee, won't we? Because it's a bit of an anomaly, isn't it, in the sport. Georgia Ballard reached on a 3-ball walk. That was a great pickup from our team of statisticians. So sorry, Steve Wallashara, if you're watching that one back, you can blame Lindy for that one. As we're back for the action here in the top of the second. This is going to be a tussle all night long, Lee. You can just feel it, an arm wrestle with that superstar on screen right there leading the way for the Heat. Here is Tash Straps hitting 6 for the Falcons. It's in there for a called strike. She had her first hit of the season on Saturday, Lee, and then I Saw over in the distance at the 4 o'clock game, she was playing in the B grade, and I saw her absolutely line drive one. So I think she's hit some form here, Straps.
Yeah, well, this is where Hills have got to be really tight with these last 4 batters, 6, 7, 8 and 9, because they don't want people on when the big guns, so to speak, come up the bat.
Yeah, the bottom order been bolstered by Rachel Tonkin's move down there.
Yep.
I'm still having to think about it. The lineup does look pretty good, but geez, when you can see Rachel Tonkin hitting 9, you know it's a strong lineup.
Yep.
Good cut at that one, fouls it off.
Tasha's settled in well, hasn't she, with the Falcons, playing at first base. Very reliable glove person she is.
Yeah, she just slots straight back into her club of a few years back. Ever reliable as well. You'd consider her in your starting lineup no matter what team she played in. And she, like I said, slots straight into this back-to-back premiership side.
Yep.
High for a ball, and she will lead the second inning off with a base on balls. Indigo back to Silva in the left-hand batter's box. You don't need Lee for this prediction. You would suggest that this one will be a bunt, trying to advance Straps. And let's have a look at the defense. Megan Williams, the second base, right up next to Georgia Hood, which means that first base, Sasha Penglace, Lee will go around the diamond in a moment, will hang back on her base. So if Beck De Silva manages to pull it down the line, she'll probably just have to play her own base. The job will be done advancing Straps. But there's Megan Williams right at the end of the bat, and Peyton Daniels at third is also very close. There is Williams doing the fielding and gets it across to Penglace for the first out of the inning. Straps easily to second on that play. What a great bunt from Beck De Silva.
Did the job. That's why it's called sacrifice bunt. Emphasis on the sacrifice.
So a rare sacrifice bunt, 4-3. Normally you see it the other way around, a 3-4 play.
It's just knowing the batters, isn't it?
Ashby, late swing on that, but it was there for a called strike. These two teams have played against each other in this season. It's a surprise bunt, a running bunt. Hood does the fielding. She's very good. Gets it across to Penglace for the second out. So 2 sacrifice bunts in the inning.
Terrific
advancing Straps to third.
Terrific fielder on her own pitching, isn't she, Georgia?
Oh, just in general.
Like a cat.
She can play outfit. She can play first base. And as you said, when she's pitching, she doesn't make many mistakes. This is Rachel Tonkin. We just spoke of her.
Gets on base a lot of times, Rachel.
Well, we don't like to put the mock on players, but Georgia Hood, 3 putouts and 12 assists on the season for a fielding average of 1,000. So then you add to that her pitching of 27 innings, 39 strikeouts. I think she's second in the league for strikeouts behind Jade Peterson on 42.
Yep.
So add those 2. She's actually 1 behind Peterson now on the life ladder, so to speak. Rachel Tonkin with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Fouls that one off. A good cut, good confident swing for Tonkin.
Yeah. Rachel gets her money's worth when she's batting. You know, she just does not panic. Just settles in, gets her money's worth. Go as deep in the count as she can.
Well, there she is, bat to ball, and Megan Williams does it well, fields it, throws it from where she fields it from. She's low to the ground, she makes an underarm throw, and you'd think if she come up to throw that one overhand, that would have given Tonkin enough time to perhaps even beat that one out, or, you know, maybe that throw's not as accurate because it's so close. I'm getting the nod here from the expert second base player, Mark Cramp. So although leadoff gets to third again for the Falcons, Hills Heat able to deny them with that 4-3 play, and it's 0-0 here in the middle of the second.
Well, g'day, James. I've stolen the microphone off Lee for a little bit.
Thanks for joining us, Mark. It's always good to have you here. I know you're a very busy man, so...
That's just a rumour I started. You're right on that play on second base there. She did the right thing. Flicked it up from as she was coming up with it. Perfect play. I really enjoyed that. She did well last week. We watched her play as well. Some really good outs.
Look, Megan's been a terrific player. She had a 400 hitting season a couple of years back at Port Adelaide. She was one of the... she won back-to-back Team Player of the Year awards, I think, at Seacombe Softball Club. She's a very handy player to have in your lineup. I think she's underestimated, but just, again, contributing for her side this year. She's up to bat now, hitting 286, but 5 RBIs leading the team. So that's why she hits in the 4 position, because she's so good with runners in scoring position.
Well, it's about making the most of your opportunities. Batting 4, you generally have 1 or 2 runners on base. Lee's will probably not at this, and you put a strong batter, whether or not you get a safe hit, you make contact to advance those runners, your RBIs, and then you come in. So, you know.
Yeah, it brings some much-needed experience to this Hills Heat lineup as well. I'd say there's not too many players over the age of 21 as we look at this lineup. It looks like Megan Williams the only player in that age bracket for this team. So that's a good point from our man Lee. That one's high. Also on Megan Williams, the 4 hits that she's got this year, 3 of them extra bases, 2 doubles and a triple. So she's got some wheels as well.
It makes me feel very, very old. I remember in the year 2000, the whole world was going to crash. I think I would have been 20-something at the time. So that makes me feel bad or old. She watches that one through. Very good eye on that one as well, wasn't it?
That's a reference to the young Hill side.
Yeah, 100%. When you said there's no one over 21, I was like, hang on, it's 2021. I remember 21 years ago. She crushes that one down to left field, but just foul. But she's onto that early, isn't she?
Yeah, Megan Williams, she's always got that determined look on her, but you have a word with her, and she's very casual approach, but also she wants to do well for her team. So, like I was saying, great to have in a lineup. Versatile as well, so playing second base.
Oh,
yeah,
that one just kicked or dropped or something at the end there, didn't it? Just moved a little bit. Tailed away. You don't see Tonkin sort of push those away. And she didn't snatch at it. She sat there nicely, but it's had a little bit of a kick or something. Yeah,
so just maybe crossed up on the signals possibly, but not too much damage done. Megan Williams aboard from a walk. You have a look at the Hills batting order. It's been strikeout, walk so far. So Danny Perez looking to break that.
That was an intentional early swing too from Perez. So she went after that. No matter where that ball was going, she had that I'm hitting it sort of look. And then pops, that's dangerous.
But yeah, pops up a bunt attempt, so she won't be too happy with that one. Lee and I have seen the Hills play a fair bit, and the Hills Heat don't generally do many sacrifice bunts. They try to do the bunts on the run, catch the field on the back feet, but you'll get a shake of the head from our old mate Lee on that. He wants the ball down on the deck.
Whoa.
Peyton Daniels now.
She watches that one inside. Good eyes by Peyton Daniels. She's coming along well as a batter. We always knew she would through her times with Seacombe and Coach Radigan at the time. And, you know, going back onto the bunt, it's got to hit the dirt no matter what.
That's a better sack
like that one.
Straps does the fielding to Rachel Tonkin at second for the second out of the inning. Runner now in scoring position. Yeah, you're right. That's a better sacrifice bunt. Well done, Peyton Daniels.
That's what they needed the first time, because then you would have had one out with a runner at second and a better option. Lee's nodding here because, you know, we've got a combined knowledge of this game of about 280 years. I've got about 20 of those. And, you know, we talk about the game every now and then off camera, and I play a very old style type of softball, and, well, that was new age for Lee, my old style, but... Good to have him back. I missed him last week.
Forrester, big cut, goes foul, and she's been a handy acquisition for the team as well, hitting 286 on the season.
This is one of those games, softball, isn't it, and baseball as well, but softball predominantly, is that the fundamentals don't change, but so the style of game still doesn't change. If I'm trying to portraying what I'm saying is, you still bunt, you still hit, you still run. It's a game that doesn't evolve. It's just how it's supposed to be. It's played how it's supposed to be. Then you get some old school guys that come in and say, I'll play a short game, I'll play but it's still the same fundamentals. As that one is just, I thought that clipped the corner there. That was a really nice pitch.
Just on the inside edge and good zone from our state umpire-in-chief, Steve Walashara, 3-1 count.
He's tight. He's tight, isn't he? He's a consistent tight zone, which I like. You know what you're going to get when you go up to, you get 3 balls, you get 4.
well, you ask me, it's the real strike zone. Too many umpires call that outside edge. Now, I'm a catcher, so I want that outside edge called.
Yep.
But, some umpires are calling it in the left-handed batter's box.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
And I'm a home run hitter, so I don't want those, you know what I mean?
I can't reach those.
Yeah. As Penglaze is in the box now for Hills.
The 3 runners aboard for the Hills tonight have all been base on balls, and Fidge just gets that one up and out of the zone, maybe because the Hills have been aggressive early in the count. So good calling from catcher Sarah Tonkin.
Well, it's 2 down. You can afford to be a little bit loose, but not with a runner in scoring position, as that one's popped out to shallow right.
Spills.
Error.
Tonkin probably thought she had it. Bector Silva was definitely there to take it.
Yep.
Outfielder's always got the right of way on that one, and just spills off the glove in the first run of the game, off the bat of Penglace, and it was Williams that scored from third.
It's funny, there's 2 pivotal sort of plays before Williams was at second base and made that final out, and just a play there at second base which just scored a run. But I've been many a times, Lee, when I've stood there and I've heard the footsteps of the right fielder thumping in behind you, and you just give way to the guy running and charging in at the ball instead of supposedly running back to the side.
As the leading team's replaying, you could see Bector Silva was in shot while the ball spilt out. So, look, Falcons are a fighting side.
It's nothing really. It's early in the season.
That'll motivate them to score.
100%. It's one little, and like I think I even was talking about Megan last week. There was the Port Adelaide second base last week made a basic error in the start in the first or second innings. And she came back really strong with a bat and made a couple of good outs. So that's nothing. That's a little error. You shake it off and you keep moving on. I say that in my 46 years. But when I was 20, geez, I was filthy if I made an error.
This is the 9-hitter, Maddie Rocha. She hits that one foul. It was good contact. And she's third in the team batting averages. 385 on the season so far. She's been on base 5 times, all from hits, and only the 1 strikeout, so she's been very good for the Hills.
Well, I say it every week, 7, 8, 9 is my favourite part of the batting lineup for me because it's so unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. Lee's writing down the same note, very, very similar to what I say every week. Like 7, 8, 9 to me is a very exciting part of the lineup because if you get one of them on, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basically coming back up again. And then I took my shoes off then, Lindy. Oh, as that one's just toe poked out and went foul.
It's still spinning.
Yeah.
Tracy Opolsky could get in trouble there. She picked that one up before it was dead, but it wasn't going back into play. But how many of you seen come off the end of the bat like that, just spin back in towards first? Runners 1-3 for the Hills Heat for, what's that, about 4 or 5 pitches so far of this at bat. So Hills Heat, like they've been put back into their blocks a little bit, haven't they? Because of Sarah Tonkin.
They're more disciplined with their batting and their running as Millie Fidge shuts that one out and that's side away. But yeah, she, excuse me, sorry about that.
Well, Hills Heat managed to put the first run of the game on the board, and they will lead after 2 complete innings, 1-0. That 1 run was the winning margin when these 2 teams faced off earlier in the year, 3 runs to 2. And I think the Heels actually came back in that game for a win. And we can tell you, just give you a score update about an hour into the game. Around the grounds, thanks to MK Services SA, the word that we've been given is Port Adelaide 5-1 up over the Walkerville Cats. And as everyone knows, Yo Grauer, the star pitcher for the Magpies, doesn't play midweek. So that'll be Charlotte Dubrovcek pitching over there, you'd say, Lee? Yeah, I'm getting a nod from Lee. So,
Lee, I've got to start really looking at stats and understanding the game a little bit more, because I saw that PA 5-1 and I thought, put out 5-1. No, it wasn't. It was a strikeout. I'm like, what's he writing a note? A put out?
Well, a special comments tonight coming from CPC, Commercial Partitions and Carpentry, one of the proud supporters of our fully loaded softball teams. That you would have seen in the pre-season. Here's Sarah Tonkin, 500 gamer, goes early in the count. Peyton Daniels, like a hoover at third.
Ooh,
she'll get aboard,
go.
and she'll take on the overthrow, gets to second. So it was a great play from Daniels, probably a little too high for Pinglace at first. She had to jump to get to it, and wow, there's a leading team's replay. Talk us through it.
Well, I was going to say, leading team's replay, she picked it up comfortably, had plenty of time. She's still 3 or 4 steps away from the play. I think she just... Because Tonkin's such a good, powerful runner, she thought, I've got to get away with this really, really quickly. But she had plenty of time. Great pickup, good hands. She'll learn over time how good and reliable her arm is, and she'll just take that extra millisecond.
Georgia Hood is pitching up against Neve Adams. Sarah Tonkin in scoring position. So Falcons were able to get the lead off on both times. Both innings so far in this game, but failed to score it. But this time round, they're on second in scoring position with none out.
Lee has called this one deep. Oh.
Early on that one, and the hands were turning as well as she was swinging for that. And that one was going to go foul as the bat head was already around. Lee is distracting you a bit there, Mark, isn't he?
He's wrote deep and hard, and he said it's going to go long ball, is it? It's going to go hard. Is that what you're saying? Oh, you reckon change up?
2 balls, 1 strike, the count.
That's what you're doing with your hand, a change up signal. Oh, that's a good pitch there, Lee.
Catches that outside edge, and good calling from Georgia Ballard. You'd probably want to keep it there, seeing as that Neve Adams likes to swing the bat hard. And runner on 2, poised, change up. That's what Lee wanted.
1 pitch too late, I think, Lee, because she would have went up for it. I tell you what, you don't want to walk her. You don't want to let this one get away, because you've got White and then Cameron and then Fidge.
The champ in the on-deck circle is keen to get that ball into play, isn't she? She's swinging hard. Neve Adams, ground ball to short. Takes off on the connection.
Hey.
What strong, aggressive running there from Tonkin. She was taken off on that ground ball to Perez, who was deep, couple of steps off the line, and gets it across to first base for the first out. Here's the leading team's replay.
I noticed Perez just looks across at the runner as well. I think it's almost like a little bit of a habit, because she didn't need to look at third, because it was safe as houses.
Good pitch, down and low on the outside for Hood. Gets White swinging.
This could go deep.
Yeah,
everyone here is signalling deep.
Tempted
except Lee.
Tempted to almost put her on, you'd say, as White has been ultra aggressive this year, and you can see from the stats she has had no walks nor strikeouts for the season, Belinda White. So modest 250, a 1 from 4 batting average with runners in scoring position. So expect that to change. She's just got such high expectations of herself, and has been one of the best hitters in this competition for the last decade.
Good battle there, but Hood takes her.
I can't believe that. Thanks, Lindy. Lindy just reminded me that I jinxed her first strikeout of the season. So that's same for Hood as well. So Georgia Hood, first strikeout of the season. Belle White, first strikeout of the season. And there's 2 outs with that runner still in scoring position on third, Maddie Cameron.
How many home runs has Maddie Cameron hit this year?
She has not hit a home run this year.
All right, strap yourselves in at home. Hit record, because this one could go long.
Also, no strikeouts on the season. So the top three.
James.
Listen, top three batters for the Sturt Falcons: Tonkin, Cameron, and White. No strikeouts combined for the three of them. Outside edge. I've caught your commentator's curse,
I know.
Mark.
Don't.
We love to talk up the
This
guns of the
There are
competition.
some
And
good players here, though. I'd love to see this go long. Oh, I think she heard me.
well, another one just off the end of the barrel as a change of pace. Got Cameron that time, and
I'm going to give the microphone back to Lee after this one because he's called this change up about 7 times and he's been right every
each
time.
pitch, yeah.
Oh, great pitching by Hood.
I've done it again.
Yeah, maybe Lee, you should take James's headphones and just comment. No, I'm joking. What's he done? He's going to have some complaints. The switchboard's lighting up, Lee.
Well, all I can say about Mr. Harris is he's a terrific commentator. He's just jinxed the two best batters in the Sturt side.
Lee, well, they'll be filthy on him too when they listen to the
But-
replay back, because I know you will.
But let's not get
batting.
away from the fact they were two terrific pitchers from to retire them from Georgia Hood. First one to change up. Same old story. Top class batters do not like balls, pitches without pace on them.
No.
I'll be saying that till I
Well-
die, and I hope it's not tomorrow.
Well, they get you.
The last.
Well, we hope it's not either, Lee, because you've got to commentate on Saturday and you're part of the roster, so it'd be awkward to find a spot. But but what you're right though. If you get a batter that's aggressive like Cameron and aggressive like White, you fire one down, and then you play with them. They get anxious, don't they? They get like, well, what's happening here? I need to hit this, and I can hit this. James has got his hands in his head now. He's disappointed. Don't crucify him, people. I have made a mistake once. Well, I thought I did, Lee. I was mistaken.
Top of the lineup for the green team.
It'd be interesting to see how Hills now settle in, right, with that one-run lead. They're not as aggressive. We saw the first three. Look at that. She goes after that one after I said they're not going to be a little aggressive, but that was a change of pace. I want to see them get a little bit more comfortable in the box and just go after what they can go after instead of being a little bit more aggressive at the start there. As you had a KC, base on balls, K2, base on balls.
Well, I don't think they're going to keep Abby Jorgensen down forever. Let's see what she does here. I've got to get in a hit here. Or not.
Can you guys just stop saying and predicting what's happening, all right? So leave it at that. I'll be the judge of what's happening. I came in with a scoop last week.
What, on the front of a forklift or what?
Yeah, it was an ice cream scoop. Georgia Ballard up now, base on balls. Last at bat when this was the contentious 3-ball walk. Fitch is looking a little bit more relaxed, I think, now in the bottom of the third.
Yep. When you start the game and you've got some heat, you can throw. You try to blast, don't you?
Yeah.
Initially. Then you settle into your rhythm. That's a good pitch.
Straps takes that one comfortably on the second bounce for the first out. And that brings Hood into the box. A standing K2. She'll make amends for that, we would assume, and her team would be hopeful of.
Got to pitch batters like this very carefully, don't you?
Well, you pitch around, and
Yep.
the person who's really good at that is, as we just wait for this pitch to come through. And she's standing out there to 2 balls. Sorry. Jade Peterson, I was about to say, sorry, I was distracted. Jade Peterson's very good for pitching around spots. She's very good at spots, isn't she, Jade? And she can set you up and then close that door. Oh, no, that one really hurt as Fidge has just taken that right on the thigh. Time has been called as Hood has hit first base with speed as well, and she is worried. She's looking over, and Fidge has taken that one right on the thigh. You wouldn't want that because that came off like a bullet.
Yeah, it was going. So let's hope everything's A-OK here.
Wowee. That's going to hurt. That'll be a dead leg for sure, and, well, showing some very, very, very determination and some strength to stand out there and take that. She'll walk it off. Everyone's laughing at her. That's the best thing for it. Oh, wow. That could have been a lot worse than it was, Lee.
Yep. Looks like she's up and about now, so.
Oh, that'll leave a nasty bruise.
Yep.
Yeah. She's going to stay out there. She's just going to try a couple and see how she feels when she lands on it. Yeah. Still got it. What's the ruling here, Lee? Do they give you like 5, 10 minutes? They just whatever you're comfortable, or?
I don't think there's any set time.
Geez, that come off if we watch the replay there.
Yeah. Powerful hit of George, isn't
And
she?
it's a cold night too. That would have come off. How fast would that have come off the bat, Jim? You reckon? 200 k's an hour. Miles an hour. What do they normally come off? 120 off the bat?
Off the bat, normally they come off.
Well, I'll tell you what. When that hit, that would have been 200 plus, I reckon, because that was moving.
One good thing about you having you on board, Mark, you're not in the exaggerations.
I don't like to exaggerate, Lee, but I normally hit them at about 200. I've never hit one that hard. That was a powerful hit, and good on Fidge for keeping going, because that will be stinging now. I can assure you of that. I've been hit by many a good pitcher because I've got a big mouth, and they really hurt. That's 2 low ones. Williams, Megan Williams now settling in. What did she go? Megan Williams, base on ball last at bat. Oh, that's nice and low, but it was in there. Yeah, one thing I was going to just ask when Millie did get hit is the relief pitcher. Who have they got? They've got Straps,
Tash.
maybe?
Tash
Straps?
It'd be Tash, I think.
Great pitch. That was an amazing pitch. Set her up there too. It's only 2 outs, I think, isn't it? Is that only 2 outs? Have I got 2 or 3?
We've
You
got
counted 3. Well, I'm all over the shop here tonight. I got a 3-ball walk and you side away with 2 outs.
Time for a pass to your sponsor.
I tried to give the microphone back to James.
So what's the odds, James? Is she coming back once her leg cools down? I'm saying no.
Yeah, that'll cramp up Lindy Radigan just asking the same thing as we did. She's coming out to bat, so if she keeps walking around on it, Lindy, I think she might be fine, but it's going to stiffen up on the way home, that is for sure.
Well, we do hope she's okay, and she is first up to bat in this inning, so she'll get to put that leg to the test. Lee, how are the 2 pitches going, by the way? 4 strikeouts for Hood, make it 5 for Millie Fidge on the night, and we're only in the middle of the 3rd.
Yeah, we thought at the start, James, it'd be a pitcher's game, didn't we? And it's turned out that way. Runs are going to be hard to get. But the best thing for Millie here would be to get a hit, but not too long, because I don't think she'd fancy running 2 or 3 bases.
It's probably the best thing for her to keep moving, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, but if you could do a fat lock easily going between 2nd and 3rd.
That one in there, high in and out of the zone.
George,
On the face
was a bit disappointed then, wasn't she, George?
Smile on the face of Fidge. She's probably thought, oh, she's hit me with the bat, now she's going to hit me with the pitch. It's gets bat on ball, 2 bounces to Williams. Another underhand pass over to Penglace for the first out. 4-3. Lee, did we manage to get round the diamond, by the way? We might get you to do that in between the next couple of batters.
Yep.
We've called so many of them already. The infielders in particular. I'm not sure the only one that's gone to the outfield so far tonight is Sarah Tonkin's hit to lead the game off in her 500th game. It was a single to left field. Since then, it has just been all in the infield. So Georgia Hood looking the goods tonight. Jams up straps and goes foul. Lee, the two teams just match up so well, don't they? The Hills Heat with a combined team batting average of 331. Sturt Falcons down at a bit, 268 average. This one ground ball to Peyton Daniels, but 268 is a little modest for the Falcons. You'd think the back-to-back premiers. So, you know, on any night they will tear apart one of the better lineups in the competition. So Hills Heat really need to stay on their game here. 1 run's not going to be enough.
No.
Strikeout number 5.
Right, I go around the diamond now. The battery is Georgia Hood to Georgia Ballard. First base, Sasha Penglace. Second is Megan Williams. Third, Peyton Daniels. In the hole at shortstop, Danny Perez. Outfield, Maddie Roche at left. Abby Jorgensen centre. Ella Forrester right.
Bector Silva back up to bat. And Lee, I'll just make a quick comment. You said, I was interested to hear you say in the hole at shortstop. I played for a team back in the glory days at NAMSA called the Brewers, and they had a player named Charlie Brown. Like, legitimately, his name was Charlie Brown. And he used to say, all right, in the hole tonight is this player. And the hole would change every week. Great shot there from Indigo Bector Silva. Bat on ball, great placement over the head of the shortstop in the hole. Danny Perez and Abby Jorgensen will do the fielding. So second hit of the game for the Falcons, and that brings up the 8th hitter, Maddie Ashby.
Good control, wasn't it, from Indy against a quality pitcher like George.
Straight back to work here, Georgia Hood finding that outside edge.
Have to go bunt here, wouldn't you think? I do.
There is
two
two
out.
out.
There's 2 out. Yeah,
There is
correction.
2 out.
Correction, that's fine. No, I wouldn't now.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. So there's a good pick up from Mark Cram, bringing you the MC Sportswear special comments.
Yeah, it's
No, I said
well
it was
done.
CPC tonight. No.
Yep.
Well, 1, 2, 3 strikes for Maddie Ashby, and gee, Georgia Hood, she's got to be one of the most dynamic players that you'll see play the game, isn't she? She can hit, she can pitch. She is the leader of this team, and she's just 20 years of age.
And you know what comes with that? Super competitive player, isn't she? She competes. I wonder where she gets that from. Cheerio to you, Tan, if you're listening or watching.
Well, she has blanked the Falcons for the 4th time in this game. And the Hills Heat have a handy 1-run-to-0 lead, but we're in the middle of the 4th, so they get the last chance to bat. We are 50 minutes in, so smack bang halfway into the game in time and innings. Here in the middle of the 4th. So there is Millie Fidge. She's a young player, let's not forget that. So some great resilience shown to come back after copping that line shot. You can see her just stretching out that leg a little bit, but she's just proven time and time again over the last 3 years that she is a class act, and Perez fouls that first one off.
Yeah, so the number 5 hitter was for Sturt was Millie, and she's followed up by the number 5 hitter for the Green Mean team, Danny Perez.
Good change of pace. So a good combo of pitches called from catcher Sarah Tonkin. Perez not holding back. Swing and fouls that one off.
Time to throw the change up again, I feel. Right now. There it is. And that's a result.
Great pitch from Fidge to get strikeout number 6 of the game. Back-to-back standing Ks. She's had a few of those tonight. And it is Peyton Daniels now for the Heat. Sacrifice bunt, her first time up to bat tonight. Goes opposite. This looks very familiar as Rachel Tonkin completes the catch on this occasion. Shares a smile with the right fielder, Indigo back to Silver. 2 quick outs for the Hills Heat.
Well, Rachel called that early. It was always going to be her ball. And as you said before, Mark, if you're playing right field or in the outfield, unless you're going to overcall, you just let them come back. And you were a second base player, and I know that you would go back until you're overcalled. Did you follow all that, Mark? Just nod your head, that'll be enough.
Great change up. So Fidge using that change up as an absolute weapon tonight. She's only given up the 1 hit, and that was the line drive we saw last inning from Georgia Hood. Another change up. So great pitching, good performance here from Fidge for a 1-2-3 inning, including 2 strikeouts. Count at 7 in 4 innings.
And there goes that theory that some coaches are obsessed with. You never throw 2 change-ups in a row. Guess what happened then, K2?
I've never heard that, Lee. I
heard
don't
it
mind it as a tactic.
Well, I love the change-up, especially against the top batters.
I wouldn't have known.
I'm just waiting for it to tell me the innings.
Well, as you can see on screen, there's Georgia Hood going through her warm-up as the Sturt Falcons just extending their team chat, aren't they, between innings?
Still 5-1.
We can see,
Don't know what inning.
thanks to MK Services SA, that Port Adelaide still lead the Walkerville Cats over on Diamond 2. We are coming to the close of play on that Diamond, so still about 5 or 6 minutes to go. 5-1 the margin, and if that scoreline remains, Port Magpies will continue to roll on this season. They're 5-1 at the top of the table, 4 points clear of their nearest rival, which is Sturt, Hills and Walkerville, all on 6 points. So just looking to put a gap in them at the moment. Rachel Tonkin up to bat. They've defended really well as well. 16 runs against. Their only blemish was against the Hills Heat this time last week in a 7-0 surprise upset. Hills Heat winning that one in Mercy. Swing and a miss on that change up. So Hood says to Fidge, I can throw them as well. Yeah, back on Port Adelaide. 41 runs for next best team, 27. Tonkin, pop up to shortstop. Perez, she looked like she changed directions.
Yeah.
And taking the catch in the end for the first out.
Not much of a breeze here tonight, James, so it's not going to move around too much.
Don't know from where you're sitting, Lee. I'm got the hoodie on and getting that late sea breeze. Yeah,
It's the price you pay for sitting in the #1 position.
Well, like all good leaders, Lee, you take one for the team sometimes. There's Sarah Tonkin in game number 500. Has been on base twice. Has one of just 2 hits for the Falcons tonight. Make that 2 out of 3 in game 500 as she's aboard for the 3rd time tonight.
And that's Sarah Tonkin's niche, isn't it? The hit up the middle, flat and hard. She's done that plenty of times in those 500 games. Terrific performance in the 500. My goodness.
Leading teams replay. This one, we'll see Tonkin advance to 3rd as wild pitch on this occasion, you'd say. Georgia Hood in her 27 innings of work, so that was prior to tonight, had only given up 19 hits, so make it 31 and 22 hits. So great pitching performance so far in the season for Hood. Just 11 walks as well. You go back a couple of years ago, hits and walks column would be very similar, you'd say, Lee. Neve Adams, the hitter. With Tonkin in scoring position, there is one out. Low for a ball and
Pitching very carefully. Georgia knows what this girl's capable of. She may be young, but I can tell you she can hit it hard.
well, 3-0.
What a good position.
Yeah, 3-0. You really need to go at this batter knowing that White is on deck, and you probably would say that Adams would get a lot more strikes batting 2 than what she would at 5 batting behind Cameron, but
Final score for
that one in there as well. Now back to full count.
What about the change up to finish it off? Because Neve will be looking to crunch this, I can tell you.
Low for a ball, and she just grinded that out, didn't she? It was a 3-0. She got a couple of good ones to look at, and then that last one, although she didn't take the bat off the shoulder, it was a great at-bat. Yeah, I'm not saying a word as I got a smart comment in my ear there. Don't jinx the batter. Well, she ground out to third and a double play attempt. Peyton Daniels just shows her worth
Play.
at third. She is a young gun of the competition, and geez, don't you like those ones? You're sitting pretty far back, one step over, you throw it over to first, and again, the Hills defense stands up and denies Sturt Falcons as they leave another runner in scoring positions, and halfway through the 5th inning now, the Hills heat with an impressive 1-run-0 lead. Lee, you've got a final for us over on Diamond 2, thanks to MK Services SA.
Port Adelaide beat Walkerville 5-1, James. I'm just a bit concerned about Walkerville's form, James, for a side like they have. Take no discredit.
Well,
Do not discredit Port Adelaide.
3-3 now.
Yep.
3-3 now. That they've got as many runs as the other good sides in the competition. Take Port Adelaide out of it. There's 4 teams battling for that 2nd, 3rd and 4th place, and that is Sturt, Hills, Walkerville and West Torrens. Walkerville have scored as many runs as any of those sides. They sit 1 game ahead of West Torrens, and they've got a lineup that you would think could beat any team on the day. So I think they're poised right at the moment. They're in a good place.
They could be, but what's their runs against?
That's probably their downfall at the moment.
Yeah, it's surprising because there's been such a great team for a long time, and maybe just need to get it together. I don't know. But hats off to Port. It's a change up again.
Walkerville's beaten West Torrens, Hills and Glenelg so far this year. So 2 big scalps there, you'd say.
Yeah.
And their win against Glenelg, from memory, was a grind. It was 2-1 as Penglace ground ball to shortstop. White has to go back onto her heels. It's an overthrow as Penglace will arrive safely. A bit of a discussion. White was deep and Penglace may have beat that out. She didn't get the advanced base because it was well backed up. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay there. She takes on. She's running fast. She looked like she was going to be safe on that one. So although White probably overthrew it, it's going to be a safe hit to Penglace. will lead off on for the heat. Credit Penglace a hit. It's only the second hit of the game against Fidge. Maddie Rocha, the 9-hitter. Bunt, pops it up, and Straps takes one of the easier catches she'll take in her career, as that's the first out, but we'll go round to the top of the order. And although she's leading the hits column for the Hills Heat, Coach Humphreys is taking out Jorgensen from the game. 2 strikeouts, so maybe a pretty good move coming into the bottom of the 5th, Lee.
Yeah, I think so.
That's good, Lee. As the Falcons
Looks like Georgia King, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Falcons are taking this opportunity just to have a bit of a chat because
yeah, it is Georgia King. Sorry, James.
They are getting behind Fidge. She's pitched a gem, so they want to make 2 quick outs here and get in and put a couple of runs on the board. But this is Georgia King for the Hills Heat coming in for Abby Jorgensen. Runner on first is Sasha Penglace. There's 1 out, and Hills Heat lead by 1 run.
Well, what's Georgia King got for us here? Abby just a bit out of sorts, you might say, tonight. Abby Jorgensen.
Georgia, number 3, comes to the box for the Heat, and she might be coming off the bench, but she's been real good for the Hills Heat in her debut season in the Premier League. 3 hits so far, 2 RBIs, hitting .333. Georgia King, add her 2 walks, a .455 on base percentage.
Just looking to move the runner, Sasha, on another base if possible.
Has a big cut at that one, and it goes foul. So Fidge really tempting King. That one's in there for a called strike.
I don't think I've seen as many change-ups as I've seen tonight in 4 or 5 games. Love it.
2-1 count. 1-2 count now, a strikeout. So there's 2 outs. And in that leadoff spot for the Hills Heat for Jorgensen and King, it's been 3 strikeouts, 2 of them looking. And that is 2 outs here in the 5th.
Yep.
Georgia Ballard, the hitter for Hills Heat. Well, if you're a Heat fan, you'd love to see Ballard get on base and have 2 runners aboard for Georgia Hood, who's on deck. And if you're a Falcon supporter, that one looked high, but called strike on the changeup. Falcon supporter, you want to see an out here at this batter, and she's done it again, Fitch. She's got her team into a great spot here. 0-2 count here on Ballard.
But you don't want to finish the innings, the Heat, with the runner, the lead-off runner being on first and stranded on first, do you?
Yeah, lead off with an infield single. Good eyes from Ballard. Now back to a 2-2 count. So you'd say back in the favour of the hitter, although the pitcher could throw another one out of the zone here, but you'd want to attack this hitter, you think, because you've got Hood on deck. Outside edge, so
Mixing them up.
Really working this hitter, Ballard. Her eyes have been up, they've been down, they've been in and out. So full count, runner will be going on the pitch. That's Penglace on first. High and a walk, so Ballard starts the count 0-2, gets herself a walk. She will be replaced as a catcher speed up. So courtesy runner is Maddie Rocha for the Hills, and Sturt Falcons coach Justina Adams calls timeout. She's going to come and have a chat to her team. Lee, I'm going to beat you to the punch. Intentional walk chances?
Yeah, has to be. Has to be.
The game's on the line here.
Cannot take a chance. Let Georgia bat.
Catches
Yeah. So Matty Rocha comes in to run for the catcher. Georgia Ballard, of course.
Just
And
mentioned
it's
that.
intentional walk.
Just mentioned both those,
Yep.
Lee. So Georgia
That's
Hood
fine.
is intentionally put on, loads the bases for Megan Williams. So maybe playing with fire, but you're probably picking the less of two evils here if you're a Falcons player to go for Williams.
This is when you bring your outfield right in because you can't afford the ball to land. It'll be 1, if not 2 runs. Bring them right in and get the catch.
Well, I'd say Millie Fidge would breathe a sigh of relief when Justina Adams came out with a timeout then to say we're going to put her on.
Well, it's the state of the game dictates what you should do as a coach. And that was the only option there.
Megan Williams, an 0-2 count, so make it 6 balls in a row for Fidge it was a 0-2 count on Ballard. She then got 4 consecutive walks.
Full count. She needs to get her money's worth here, Megan.
Goes after that one. So looking for a loose one with a hitting count of 2-0.
Yeah, but force Millie to throw as many pitches as she can because we've seen a couple in the dirt already in this innings. Put the pressure back on the person in the middle.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bases are loaded high for a ball. So now we're 3 in 1. So Williams swung 2-0. Will she swing 3-1?
I say
walk
no.
will bring in a run.
Yeah, I know. I say no. Yeah.
Pop up. It's between White and Cameron. White calls everyone out.
That's what I said about bringing your outfield
an
in.
Easy out in the end to deny the Heels heat as they leave bases loaded after getting their lead off on a walk, an intentional walk, a fly out to shortstop for the 3rd out. And we're going to go round to the 6th inning and the Heels heat hold on to that 1-run margin. It's 1-0 here. Live softball action here at West Beach. Bit of a rush start as well, so we want to thank all our broadcast partners from NITV, Channel 44, Spacequake Sports. We're on magnificent Ghana land here at West Beach in Adelaide. Lee Hull, Mark Cramp, the CPC special comments. Maddie Cameron's going to lead things off here in the top of the 6th. We're about 70 minutes into the game, Mark, and we might go the distance tonight.
This is shaping up to be a very good ending. We've got the likes of Hood facing Cameron. There's 1 run in it, top of the 6th. It's chilly. Things are starting to... The gamesmanship is coming in now. Fidge has copped that one in the leg. Will that have an effect next innings? You know, now that she's going to sit down for a little bit. Oh, when I say that, she's in the batting box. You know, I've got to really look at the list, don't I? But, I mean, after this bat, then she'll be, you know, like somewhere. This could shape up to be a good ending here. Unless Cameron says, now's my time because I'm due. I think she's due. I'm feeling it. Ready?
Letting you call the action here because I was talking her up last time at bat as well, but let's not go into that. There's been 6 games this season that have been decided by a run. We haven't seen a draw yet this year.
But this is where Maddie Cameron stands up. This is her like, okay, my team is down by 1 run. It's
yeah.
6th inning, top of the 6th. I'll hit a dinger here. You know, I'll really get in. You reckon change-up's coming again, Lee? Jesus. You'd love to bet against Lee. You know what's coming, don't you? Lee just says change-ups because he couldn't throw over 85.
Well, the Falcons really needed to have runners on base for Maddie Cameron. She's hitting 1,000 with runners in scoring position so far this season. 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. But a walk will do. The Falcons will take it. Lead off aboard.
You're never going to pitch down the middle to Maddie Cameron. So Georgia made that hard for me to call what was going to happen there. No one expected a base on balls unless it was an intentional walk because she always throws around Cameron. You have to. Cameron took some early steps there.
Yeah, she's quick, Maddie Cameron. 2 stolen bases on the season, tied for the most for her team. Early days in the season, but she's a powerful athlete.
Well,
Got some speed.
She gets running real quickly on the one spot, I think, and that's what sort of catches your eye. It's like, oh.
Well, you see her cover the outfield with ease. So one of the best in the country, if not the best outfielder in the country, Maddie Cameron, bias all aside. So she's been to the Kathy Lambert Sprint School. Got a good technique. Change up in the dirt.
Stays down low on the takeoff, as you can see. Down low, pump hard, push.
This is Millie Fidge in the box. Swing and a miss.
Wow.
For the first out. She's not happy with herself,
Yeah.
Fidge. She's really started to come in handy in the middle of the batting order for the Falcons over the last few games. 3 RBIs and a 300 average. So she'll be disappointed there. She can't contribute with the bat tonight.
Exactly what we're saying, James, about Maddie Cameron having 2 stolen bases. Lee is suggesting that maybe Sturt should test Ballard's arm right now, top of the 6th. It's a bit cold. Lee, she hasn't thrown around too much. Just been sitting behind the plate there. And Maddie Cameron has got some speed, so you're right. Maybe test her arm now and just see where she's sitting as the bunt goes on. Another bunt that we see go up. Lee.
Yeah, Straps has had a walk and a strikeout so far in this game. And then you've got Bector Silva, who has been able to get the ball into play. So that is going to be the plan. Eric Bolnar's sort of joined us. We won't bother him for a comment. His throw to be sore after calling the baseball tonight.
Yeah, we know where his priorities lie, Eric. They must pay more than
that one gets away
drop
from
off.
Ballard as Cameron doesn't have to take on the arm of Ballard. She gets herself into scoring position second base with this one out in this 1-0 game, Eric, as the Hills Heat scored on an error back in the second inning. It was a lead-off walk to Williams and then a dropped fly ball from second base player Rachel Tonkin that brought the run in. Cameron's going to take this one on and close call. Ian Gray
all over it, Gray.
Calls that one safe as Cameron gets herself into third base
Watch
now.
the replay
Leading
here.
Team's replay. Ballard recovered well.
Safe.
The throw was just a little wide of the runner and good call from.
Jeez, they don't get them wrong very often, do they? But when they do, they cost you a game. As that one's pushed out, Maddie Cameron's coming home and hits the plate, and that ties it up. A little bit of hesitation there too from Williams, thinking, should I hold it? But Cameron went on the crack of the bat, as you would on the opposite side of the field. So Straps did her job there perfectly, pushed at the right side of the field there, Jim.
Yeah, just put the ball behind the runner, and Cameron used some aggressive wheels in 3 consecutive pitches to get herself to second on a pass ball, get herself to third on a slight fumble, and then score on a ground ball to second base. It'll go down as a fielder's choice. You know, the fumble that you mentioned, maybe recover from that fumble, make the out at first. Get 2 outs, hopefully get that third one, come back and score that winning run. However, now it's tied ball game. It's 1 out. The runner is on first base for Bector Silva, who has had a hit and a sacrifice bunt in this game. So, she could put this one down as well, maybe from the left-hander's batter's box to give batters 8 and 9 an opportunity, but they haven't been able to get on base at all tonight. So, Bector Silva here with the job to do. We have a runner. This is Ruby DeBro coming in to run for Taz Straps. So bringing in some young wheels. Ruby DeBro is one of the young guns of the Sturt Falcons club, and we haven't seen her on the stat sheet. So this is her first game of the season in the A grade. So great to see her getting an opportunity. We can see second base Megan Williams tight in on the bat, standing right next to pitcher Georgia Hood.
I don't know if I like that position for Williams there, because all you need to do is just slap it at your feet and it's gone. The runner's now looking at 3, isn't it?
Yeah, she got one earlier in the game as well for Becca Silva's first turn at bat. It was a sacrifice bunt, 4-3, and I mentioned that normally you see it 3-4 for a sacrifice bunt. So there's DeBro on first base. We can see Becca Silva in the box. One out, reaches for it, drags it foul.
Dodged it too. She's very, very aware of where that ball was going and made sure she didn't step on it. Well, this is turning into an exciting game. Like we said, everyone's on their toes now, Jim. I did call it. I said Maddie Cameron will score the run here, and she did. You know, I just do this during a game. As that one's pushed out and goes out to shortstop, as Perez picks that up and makes the out, but we got a runner in scoring position. Is exactly what Sturt wanted when they brought on the wheels to replace Straps. As Perez picks that up nicely, as it just sort of rolled out, didn't really give her much of an opportunity to do anything but hit first. So again, another good move by the coaches here.
Yeah, it was a good move. DeBro came in to run. She's now in second, and Lauren Jury is the hitter that's coming in. So you going to her bench tonight.
Lauren Jury should be feeling the pressure here in a 1-1 top of the 6 game, but they wouldn't put her in unless they thought that she could put bat on ball and leg it out. How is she batting, Jim?
Well, when the 500 gamer Sarah Tonkin missed, they put her in the leadoff spot in place of her. She did have a good season last year. Minus numbers for her this year, 2 from 10, hitting 200, but she can do some damage here, Lauren Jury. When she gets a hold of them, they can go very quick, hard and flat off the bat generally.
Well, these are these opportunities that you've got to take, and you grab them with 2 hands, don't you? You'd be sitting on the bench, you'd be watching the game unfold, you'd be excited going, I wish I was out there. And then all of a sudden the coach may tap you on the shoulder and say, we need you to pinch hit here and you need to do your job. You do the job, you feel like part of the team, you've developed, and you chip away at your spot, don't you? Yeah, 100% Lee, ready all the time to go out there and say, I want it. She pushes that one out to Perez again, and she picked it up and almost, she dropped that.
All right,
was that a secondary attempt, or do you reckon that was in the same motion?
She reached for the ball. It looked like she had it ice cream style, and as she came off the base, the ball spilt out of the glove. Okay, let's have a look at it.
Out. Oh, you're right. It was sitting in there as an ice cream, but I think as when she went to grab it out, which she didn't need to, could have just walked off the base, yeah?
Yeah, let's have a look at the reverse angle, and we'll call the action as it's happening. This is Rachel Tonkin up to bat for the Falcons.
No, it dropped out.
Runners on the corners now for the Falcons, and dangerous batter to have in the box. 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position, and then you turn it over the top of the order. I'm going to check with our statistician team on how to score that one. Good block and stop there from Georgia Ballard.
Well, she just beat the throw. No, error. It's an error. E3, is it?
Error. 6 to E3. So shortstop Perez will get the
unless Scott
assist.
Radigan was playing there, it would be error on the shortstop.
Swing and a miss.
The conversation used to go, who got the error? And the answer was, wherever my son wasn't playing.
Anyone but Scott.
Anyone but Scott.
He'll be watching tonight.
Yeah, he did. He had a wild throw when I was playing.
2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes on Tonkin. Change up on the outside edge.
Oh, it's getting exciting now.
Yeah, and we thought that we may go 7 innings, but this inning has gone on for a bit, as we've only seen 5 batters. This is the 6th batter to the plate, but lots happening. A few timeouts, pass balls, runs scored. Just out of reach of Hood, Rachel Tonkin. RBI single to put the Falcons in the lead. They've scored 2 runs in this inning, the top of the 6th. Well, the Hills Heat up to this point were just able to keep denying the Hills. And on the leading team's replay, you can see Georgia Hood's hands go in the air just out of reach of the glove. And the 2nd run of the inning.
You know, the last innings when Peyton Daniels rolled that double play, I thought, righto, we've got a game on our hands here. And how quickly it turns, Lee, with one little fumble against, you know, a very, very strong batting lineup like Sturt, and determined as well. So it doesn't take much.
Well, this one also fumbled from Ballard. She throws this one over.
Got her.
This one is a thrown out. Lauren Jury tried to emulate Maddie Cameron. 2 runs have crossed the plate, but as the 2 gentlemen to my left have been saying, the errors have been adding up, but they've been costly as well. Look at the bottom half of the inning, inning number 2. It was a drop fly ball, second base from Rachel Tonkin that allowed the first run of the ball game to score, and then a lead-off walk for Cameron, a wild pitch and a pass ball. Then an error from the first base would have ended the inning tied 1-1 to give Hills heat. 3 opportunities to score a 1 to win the game, or at worst, draw. But now with that error, second run crosses the plate and the Falcons are in the lead.
The difference between that third base stolen attempt and Maddie Cameron's, the only difference, was the Kathy Lambert sprint school. One graduated and one hasn't. That was the difference. Lee, how did you call that last innings? That was very exciting from my point.
I tell you what, there's some terrific plays from the young catcher, Georgia Ballard, wasn't there? A couple of great throws. Didn't get the first one, pick off, got the second one. And that's dangerous stuff to do.
Well, you and I were just talking. You made some mentions there, test her arm, like when Maddie Cameron was at first base. Now, they tested her arm. She got, she's 50-50 now. So, she can throw. She's holding her position. So, yeah, you've always got to test.
Yeah, but may I suggest to you that the distance between home and third is a little bit less than between home and second.
Look, I've never measured them. I just jog them. Never really counted the distance, mate, as I'm strutting around, just jogging. As Fidge is coming out cold now, because that was a long batting innings for Sturt Falcons, so she'll be a little bit sore in that leg. She's not kicking it out as much as she leads. She's not really getting the spring. She needs to just find the spot. They need to get the 3 outs here, because I've got a funny feeling that we may be out of time. 2 minutes. So this is it for Hills. They've got to get on board here. Lee and Perez. Is that a... Oh, she's pushed it. Oh! Again. Great reflexes by Fidge. Carrying that sore leg, and she reaches out and takes that one. So that's going to get Hills on board. And that's the first out.
Yes, well, wouldn't Peyton Daniels like to get a little piece of the ball here? Start him off this innings. Only chasing 1. But in a game that's been played like this, James, it's 1 run seems like 10, doesn't it? Deficit.
Well, they've had opportunities in all but 1 inning so far, the Hills Heat. They have managed to get runners on board and in scoring position, and they're going to need the bottom half of their lineup to do the work for them, because time is all but out for the Hills Heat. So this will be it. So down to their last 2 outs. Low for a ball and gets away from the 500 gamer, who's probably our player of the night, you'd say. Sarah Tonkin, she's been on 3 times, 2 hits, and there's only been 4 hits for the Falcons tonight.
Yeah, I agree 100%. James.
Called a good game and supported Millie Fidge with 8 strikeouts so far. Threw out a runner in the first inning. Who called that timeout, Lee? Was it the Falcons? Just want to have a word with Fidge, or was it Coach Humphries to have a word with his batter?
I was just doing something constructive.
Well, here's Daniels now.
She can hit, Peyton.
Gets a hold of this, goes to the right side. And a 9-3
Guess
chance.
what she did?
She was a bit deep there, Indigo back to Silver. So a hit through to the right side. Only hit number 3 for the night. And it's come at the right time for the Hills here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
What do you do with Ella
There's
Forrester?
the leading team's replay as we see Daniels aboard. A courtesy runner coming on. This will be Ruby Ballard.
Who can run like the wind, I can tell you.
And as Lee just said, Ella Forrester now up to bat. And she can swing a bat here, Ella Forrester. What do you do with her? Well, I don't think the game plan is going to change too much here for Fidge and Tonkin, the Falcons battery. I think the question is, what are you going to do with Ballard? Are you going to try and take on the arm of Tonkin?
No, I don't think I'm going to.
You said she can run like the wind.
Well, I think Ella's job here is not to try and hit the cover off the ball. Just put the ball on the deck and let this girl run, because she can run.
Hills Heat, Lee, 1 stolen base for the season.
Yep.
2 pickoffs.
This is
All 3, same player.
This
Abby
is where
Jorgensen.
Ella's got to just shorten up and just punch the ball.
Well, she shortened up to try to punch it, Lee. So
Then
for
she
me,
went long-handed.
for me, you don't change your batting style. Why change your swing when you've got 2 strikes on you? Maybe go up the handle a little bit, but don't try and change too much, because you're changing everything that you don't practice.
That's fair enough, but anyway.
Penglace has a big cut at that one. So the ball is well and truly in the court here of the Falcons. They were chasing the Hills throughout the entire game. They put 2 on the board from a couple of poor decisions in the field. And she gets enough of this. Just past Tonkin at second. Ballard just flirting with danger.
2 hits for Sasha.
Sasha Penglace. Second hit of the night. She's been on all 3 times. She's scored the only RBI for the team. Leading team's replay.
And that's all they had to do, wasn't it? Didn't have to hit the cover off the ball. You don't have to bounce it into the home run fence. Just find a gap. Find a gap.
Maddie Rocha now.
Or Maddie Rocha. She can hit also. This would be a good time to.
Swing and a miss on that first one. A good pitch from Fidge. It looked like Rocha had the line, just didn't have the timing.
With the risk of repeating myself, I throw change up and just try and buy a cheap out here, finish the game.
High for a ball. 1-1 the count. Hills Heat down to their last out. Falcons threatened but denied every inning until the top half of the 6th.
That's
Change
it.
up.
What a surprise. Not
Down
to
to
me.
their last strike. There's Rocha. Just moves out of the box to have a think about it. Ballard in scoring position on second. This one, ground ball to Tonkin, who just has to caress it over to first base for the win in Sarah Tonkin's 500th game. The Falcons will consolidate second position and defeat the Hills Heat tonight, 2-1, and leading team's replay is the final out of the game. That's Maddie Rocha, but the 2 times these teams have played, Lee, it was 3-2 result to the Hills Heat. Come from behind victory, and tonight a 2-1 victory for the Sturt Falcons, who also came from behind to win this one. What are your final thoughts here,
Well,
Lee?
my thoughts are, as the scores indicate, James, you just said, that they're very close, these 2 sides. It was a terrific game, wasn't it? Terrific game to watch. A lot of action. Sarah, though, gee, how to stand up when you're playing your 500th game. You're not playing your 5th game. You're playing 500th. And look at how she performed tonight. So full credit to her.
Well, there you have it. The Hills Heat, they looked like that they were in control of this game, and it was the Sturt Falcons that came from behind, and Mark Cramp will be happy for me to say this. It was the bottom 4 or 5 batters of the lineup that got the job done after Maddie Cameron led off the 6th inning with a walk. It was Tash Straps who got the ball into play. a fielder's choice RBI. Ruby DeBro came into run, and she ended up crossing the plate for the second run. And it was Lauren Jury and the 9-hitter Rachel Tonkin with the game-winning RBI. I'm not sure we've got our man on the diamond tonight, so that'll just about do it for us tonight. I'd like to thank Mark for coming along and helping out. And to you, Lee, what a game tonight. Wednesday night softball. It was the Falcons 2-1 over the Hills.
It was, and just a little sideline there. 15 people were left on base in that game. 7 by Sturt, 8 by Hills, and Sturt had the 1 earned run.
Well,
so a tight go.
It was very
Fantastic.
tight throughout, and Sturt Falcons found a way. The other game tonight, it was Port Adelaide 5-1 over Walkerville. This Saturday, we'll see Walkerville versus the Sturt Falcons, and we're doing a double header as well, Port Adelaide versus Hills Heat. So can't wait to bring you the live softball action this Saturday. That'll do it for us tonight. Good night.
Good night, everybody.